I'll tell you what it's about
Garrett
as
says
Terrence Howard.
As Carey Mulligan.
Oh, yeah, I want to see
Now,
that.
this film revolves around two families. Two sons go off to war and try to come back to their home.
We're gonna get in trouble. It's gonna be a problem.
No.
Start a war.
We can start again.
It's about to start like a whole beef in the press. Okay.
All right, serious, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Garrett Mulligan.
All right.
Whoopsies.
Jason Clarke, how about that?
Oh, come on.
You're up top. You're high.
Two families that need each other and destroy each other.
Woo.
But it ends with a strong man who finds love and keeps going. This big hunk of beef right here.
Yeah, perfect.
And then we have some little piano fade out. Dum, 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 dum.
It's all right. It's just a car. It must have backfired. They say it stops eventually.
We have actual white supremacist rallies happening. What was that like for you guys when you saw that was happening, and how do you feel that your movie's gonna be coming out?
I would argue that for a lot of people, those things have always been real. And I would argue for a lot of people, the world has not changed. It's just that everyone else has woken up to it, you know? So our country is the same. Our country has not changed. The cover's been pulled back. And so now we can either shake off that denial and then begin to start with now, or we can continue to kind of pretend like it's not happening.
Through social media and all these different things, you know, they make us aware and they put it on Front Street on day one. But like Dee said, it hasn't changed. None of this is new. Like, our movie is set in the 40s and that's the situation, you know what I mean? So it is what it is.
It's a good reminder, struggle goes on. You know, we haven't, and it's democracy as well, as we're finding out too, that every generation's got to fight, to struggle, to maintain, to increase, to better, to further educate, and to think that we can just sit back and, you know, live in society and not do the work that people have done before us is wrong.
And hopefully this movie will create some safe space for us to have a dialogue so we can move forward to some healing for everybody, you know.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think if anything, like, the sense of complacency has been shaken off. And I think this doesn't change the work, but it maybe changes the lens through which audiences view the work. So I think that now we as an audience will have that critical distance to really be open to what's happening. So example, like at Sundance, I was at the breakfast bar and we're getting like bacon, and the guy's like, oh, Mudbound was good, but that Barnstein was over the top though. And it's kind of like, okay, well now that guy is gonna be like, holy shit, that Barnstein's not over the top. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know what I mean?
I
So, yeah.
I think what's really interesting is that, you know, this is a period film, but from what I've read, and I have read stuff around the film, it's been tons in the press, no one's talking about it as a period film. Like, I've done a lot of period films, and a lot of the time, a lot of the questions are like, what were the costumes like, and what is it like living in that period? But people aren't talking about this film in that context because it sadly doesn't feel distant from us. We're not removed from this. This is ongoing, and that's been really interesting.
I was sent down south from the time I was 5 all the way to 16, and my grandmother and them had big farms. We had to pick peas and pick beans, and you know, for money. So I knew how that felt, and my grandmother's house literally was this close from a train track. So it was like kind of like on a plantation, but they were proud. They had land, and they got everything out of the field that we ate. So I experienced that as well.
We got to give all the credit to Dee. She really created a space for us to be able to not only communicate with each other, but to really feel safe to be able to do what we had to do. There were times when Rob was just holding me, like, you know, and I was just letting it out, you know what I mean? Because it's real, and it's a real life situation, you know? It was good to have that unity, to be able to say, we gotta go super hard on each other in order to get this done, but we're gonna make a great piece of art, and that's what we did. But we gotta give all the credit to Dee.
Thanks, man. Thanks.